All right, Stuart Anderson here. We are live with a new podcast and webinar for the Mentor of the Month program. We're grateful to have Brian with us from Dental Innovations. What's up, Brian?
Hey, thanks, Stuart. How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, just as a reminder, resource partners in the Crown Council are brought on to help Crown Council members find a solution to problems, something that's happening inside the practice. And a problem that always arises or that we see on the email network that's happening is patient education, patient communication. And when Brian and I were together last month at the resource partner kind of mastermind retreat, we talked about some mistakes that he has seen and wanted to share with you, things that patient education could be improved upon. And for this little program, for this podcast, I'm going to really turn it over to him to share some really fascinating statistics about mobile devices, the way that patients are being communicated with, or I guess just regular consumers, the trends in the way that people are being communicated with their mobile phones, and stuff that Dental Innovations has seen, and how they can communicate better with patients. So Brian, we're excited to have you kind of share your knowledge and wisdom from your company, and I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of take it away. So whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to all the Crown members in the webinar. I think this is highly valuable, and we'll learn something today, and we'll get going. So today I wanted to highlight some of the three big patient education mistakes that we've seen from our customers we help solve that I believe every dental practice should avoid. When we think about patient education, this graph I put up here to show that we have a lot of patients who come in either for Google Maps and they've had a referral, and really quickly we got to do a couple things. One is to close knowledge gaps, but two is to build trust. And to do that, there are some really key things we need to do, but also about three things we need to avoid. And we'll get right into that. The number one mistake we started seeing with some of our customers is that they did not have a patient education strategy that was innovative, that involved mobile. The mobile phone was this thing that the patients are carrying in, but really in paying attention to, but really not taken advantage of by the practice. And I'll give you a couple, just some consumer trends that are really interesting. Number one, on average, the average person, if the average patient checks their mobile phone 110 times a day. Now that stat's probably at least 12 months old, so it's probably even higher with all the Snapchat, and I know Stuart's a big social media guy, so he and his kids are probably on Snapchat a lot. But every app you add, every social media avenue you're in, you're checking that mobile phone even that much more. And also in 2017, there were 15 million texts sent every minute, not hour, but every minute. So we are really hooked to these things, good, bad, or indifferent. We're seeing the societal trends, all the communication is going through that one device. And so I just wanted to bring up an example. We were down at the Utah Valley Lab there in Provo, and we had the opportunity to observe some complex cases and got permission to take some photos. And this is, a multi-operatory setting where a lot of multi-hour work was going on, and we saw something in common. And if you can look at this slide, I'm going to highlight this in a minute, but I want to give you 10, 15 seconds to see, wow, they all have one thing in common. And it's not the procedure that's being, done or completed on their mouth, but what it is, highlighted by the green circles, is the mobile phone.
Yeah. I mean, those are all different patients.
All different patients, all in one educational setting. And, as we talk to our customers across the nation, this is pretty much the norm, even to the point where a lot of offices will have the screens above your dental chairs watching ESPN or whatever show of choice. And a lot of times now they're not even watching that screen anymore. They're pulling their phone out of their pocket and engaging with text or watching content on the phone with the screen, the larger screen in the background. Here at the Biolab, even the staff gets into it. Doesn't matter if you're a patient, doc, or staff. At some point, hopefully, we're going to be on their mobile phones. So mistake number 2 that we saw that I wanted to bring up is not using video to educate your patients or create a consistent message. Now, when we talk about video, these trends are happening very quickly, but 68% of consumers would prefer to watch a video to solve a product-related problem. I was just, last night, I was looking at my Toyota Tundra. I got a 2006, and it's got a lot of miles on it, and it's 103 degrees yesterday afternoon, and my air conditioner goes out. Everybody's favorite problem to have in August in Boise, Idaho. Well, what do? I get out the manual, which is 450 pages long, and I look through directions and text, and I say, well, I think I know how to recharge my refrigerant, but you know what? Let me just search 2006 Tundra. I hit the button, recharge the refrigerant, and within 3 minutes, I watch a video. I've located my low pressure valve. I've located the refrigerant I need to put in there, so I'm compliant with the rules and regs. I head to the store, and within an hour, I fixed my problem. Yeah. Never in the history of time have we had access to on-demand videos such as we do today. And Stuart, I don't know when the last time you purchased a product, but the consumer trends say that 80% of consumers are more likely to purchase a product after watching a video. And I don't know if you've purchased a car, a bike tire, or anything, but chances are you've probably watched a video before you made that purchase.
Oh, for sure. And you almost, it's not like I feel bad, but if a company has a product or they're trying to teach me to do something, and that company has not already pre-produced a video to teach me or show me or explain to me, I kind of feel like they're really behind when it comes to educating or communicating with customers. I mean, I use a lot of Apple products, and Apple has an incredible video library to teach me how to use them. That there's no way they would expect me to learn in any other way when it comes to how their products work. I mean, it is the way everything now is taught. I mean, that's the way it is. That's just, I agree with this trend. I mean, video is how it's taught.
And really, I would propose it's no different with our patients in the dental practices. No matter what's being said, they're probably, especially in the millennial age group, they're probably going to go do some research and pull up some videos. And just a couple more stats, but 2019, video is going to represent over 79% of internet traffic. And, we've been probably following, all of you have probably heard some of the Facebook news that has been in the, on the AP lately, and they're dealing with some economic issues. But, they say within 2 years, over 90% of their posts, of their interactions, of how people are going to be communicating will all be done through video. And so we're seeing this trend all over the place. And just wanted to highlight this for you. Here's a LA Times article you can see on the screen, and it's about a car going airborne and crashing into the second floor dental office in Santa Ana. Some of the Crown members have seen this at last year's meeting. We highlighted this story. And, like in years past, we can read about it. And in our mind's eye, we kind of have an idea what happened, and we figure this, we imagine this car crashing in the building. But I wanted to compare and contrast for a minute and look at this next slide. This is a video about the same story.
I have to show you this next video. Check out this stunning scene from Orange County, California. That's a car lodged in a second floor dentist office. Look at this. That car wedged into the second story of a dentist's office. 2 people were inside. Luckily, they only suffered minor injuries. It happened after the car apparently slammed into a median The impact sent it flying into the air. 2 people were in the car at the time. One of them managed to get out. The other was trapped inside for more than an hour. But police say they're learning the driver admitted to using narcotics. Both the driver and the passenger were taken to the hospital with, amazingly, just minor injuries.
Here we go.
So new surveillance video now shows the car hitting a median, just missing another car, hitting the building, just missing a bus.
Whew.
I have to.
So just real quickly, I'm going to pause right there. Oops. We can, you know, read stories in newspapers, and I love newspapers. Or the current trend is let's watch a video, and in your mind's eye, we had an idea of how that car crashed into that building, but then we actually got to see it. And retention in video, from some of our good friends from the Wirebuzz guys in Phoenix, they've done a lot of studies on retention, and they'll say that video has about a 90% retention rate with anybody who watches it versus if the same information is shared via text or via copy. And so it's a very powerful way to reach our patients and really help them and remind them and keep that information at line of sight for them. This next slide, wanted to share, it was a recent survey done by the SARC Academy. They went out and looked at all their doctors and they surveyed them really about case acceptance and why patients would not accept dental treatment. Then they came up with reasons after the survey, from insufficient communication and all the way to general distrust towards clinicians. And it was, you know, obviously case acceptance is a complex issue, but they said that it requires education and open discussion. But then they said this, the quote at the bottom of your screen, that video is the most efficient tool to encourage dental patients to follow the treatment recommendations. And so it was a really good study. And again, why we use video, you know, it is going to help be the thing that patients are going to remember the most, besides that one-on-one interaction with the dentist, the hygienist, and the dental team. And can be a great companion to help move that needle. So mistake number 3 that we've seen, that we've helped our customers with, not focusing on capturing your patient's attention. Now, sometimes attention, you know, is a kind of a interesting thing, and we're going to define it real quick and tee this up as a capacity to maintain sustained concentration, to really focus. I would say focus is probably a commodity that we are all trying to increase, to keep hold of, to manage. There's Pomodoro techniques where you put the timers on for 20 minutes to focus, and there's focus apps and Headspace, and there's all types of things to keep attention these days. But there's an assault on our patients' attention. I want to show this graph, also comes from Wirebuzz, some of our friends in the video world, and it shows the green bars from 2010 to 2018. And as you move across the green bars are the amount of content and competition that has grown exponentially for our attention. These are the push notifications. These are the advance of social media. This is the increase with one-tap video from YouTube's and Vimeo and all those, you know, all those channels, the Snapchats that Stuart's probably on, all that kind of stuff is coming at us like never before. We've never been in a space and time where we have so much information. It's overload. And the red line on the slide is really a rough fixed span of attention. It's like how much we can take in and actually do something with and remember. And so we're overloaded. Our patients are coming in. So how do we focus on their attention? What can we do? And so I got one more example that we've learned from at Dental Innovations and Videotex. We've learned from an entertainment setting. And in 2 words, I'm gonna say, you know, most people say, our attention spans are so short, we are overloaded. But I'm gonna say within 2 words, there's never been a point in history where we can grab our patient's attention, you know, the longest. And those 2 words are simply binge watching. Now, if Stuart's gonna be kind and be honest, I'm just curious if there's any, shows out there that he wants to endorse, maybe unofficially, not from Crown, maybe personally, where he's binge watched. Do you have anything for us, Stuart?
When they put Parks and Rec on Netflix, we just, I mean, ridiculous decisions to continue to watch over and over. It's true. I mean, if attention is, it's there, it just has to be captured. I mean, I agree with this. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, through Netflix, we learned a couple, 3 really important keys that we've kind of built our company on and grab attention, and anybody can learn from to help grab patients' attention. Number 1 is a well-told story. We can talk facts and bullet points, and we can be as factual as possible. But if we don't put those facts and bullet points into the context of a well-told story, and entertainment's the easy one. Parks and Rec, we have a well-told story. It's funny, it's engaging. We're going to watch. My family, we watch The Office for the same reasons. We cannot stop it because it's so funny. We have to have a well-told story. Number 2, it was the introduction of automation. 5 years ago, we still were changing DVD trays, whether that was a standard definition or a Blu-ray. We had a stopping cue. It was a sweaty job. We could have watched Friends and The West Wing. We could have binged those shows. They were great. But when we would go and have to change the episode, we would stop watching. We get popcorn and go on with the rest of our lives. Now, there's about 3 seconds between the next episode of Parks and Rec comes up. Yeah. So I bet, the family's not leaving. They're leaning in, and you might watch 2, 3, 4 episodes before thinking, oh, I'm crazy. It's 12 o'clock at night. Got to go to work the next morning. And so the automation's a big, big deal. The third one is a frictionless environment. If we're asking our customers to do usernames and passwords and remember websites, it's fine to do it once, like a Netflix example. But, it's on Netflix, you never have to do it again. It's just automatic. And so to have a frictionless environment with this less stopping is to marketing and keeping our patients' attention. So how do we avoid these mistakes? I wouldn't want to bring these problems up without having a great solution. And at Dental Innovations, our flagship product is video text. A lot of you have seen this, but again, we've learned from what we just talked about to create a product that's going to capture and build upon these 3 principles. One's a well-told story. We help give the patient the reason why they should accept the procedure that's given to them very, very quickly in sequence. Number 2 is automation, and we'll demonstrate this very quickly. We make it easy for a patient to watch these. And number 3, frictionless environment. We don't require passwords. We don't require a username. It's a simple text on their phone at the height of interest, time, and need. Now, while we use a text box to summon these videos is really quite simple. We haven't talked about it quite in detail yet, but with text, there's about a 99% read rate, and it's still a quiet place. And I want to ask Stuart, just a quick comparison. How many emails have you ignored today, Stuart?
Oh, I don't ignore any emails only from marketers. Those are the only emails I ignore.
Yeah, and so you probably have, you probably bought a new bike tire, or a rim, or a seat, or a helmet, and you're probably in these campaigns, like we all are, where every week we're probably getting new emails. And giving us the next information about why we should buy. And people aren't, we're not opening those anymore. Like you said, Stuart, we're ignoring marketing emails. Well, the mobile space is quite untouched in this area. That's still quiet, and we still have laws and protections about the spam or about unwanted texts that come our way. And it's really a great way to interact with our patients because it's the area in which they're going to respond and pay attention to. So I'm going to pause this real quick.
Hello, I'm JC.
Oops. And so when a patient engages, I'm going to give a quick use case, and I'm going to show some of our content real quickly that helps engage and tells a well-told story. about why we should accept a dental procedure, and then we'll unpack that. Let's see here. There we go.
Hello, I'm JC. A dental crown is a tooth-shaped restoration that helps protect damaged teeth. There are a number of benefits associated with dental crowns, but most patients want to know why they're even necessary. Well, don't fret, because we're here to address your questions surrounding the purpose and benefit of dental crowns. But first, did you know that millions of people receive dental crowns each year, making it an incredibly common procedure for patients with large fillings, advanced stages of tooth decay, or fractures? While these restorations are known for protecting vulnerable, damaged teeth, the newer crowns, which are made of porcelain, are also...
So very quickly, that was just an example of some of our content. Stuart, we work with some of the crown members like Lon McCrae and others, and all this content was developed by dentists for dentists. We use high animations. We don't use a lot of blood or pus to term, because if you ever go out and search dental crowns or implants from YouTube, you may get a lot of fear and a lot of pain and a lot of messaging you don't want to put in front of a patient who you want to have that procedure done with. So here's an example use case of video text. I'll show you how it's done. Very simply, Johnny gets hit in the face with a softball, and he's diagnosed with needing an extraction or a dental implant. So right away, let's say he has to go check on another patient. He can say, Johnny, real quick, 90 seconds, send yourself a text. So I want to just give people who've never tried this, the opportunity to pull out their phone and try it. And they simply do a new text. I'll put that up to the camera. And in the to line, we use short codes. They put the number 33733. Again, there's no password, there's no username. And in the text box, what they're going to message, they can put the word Hornbrook, DI. And if one of David's, just like that, one of David's customers was there, or patients was there, they can put Hornbrook, DI. You don't have to do a space, and don't let it autocorrect on you. But right there in the palm of your patient's hand, they have a link they can tap on. And what comes up are 3 short sequence videos. And within about 1.5 to 2 minutes, they can watch how dental implants work, how the dental implant procedure happens, and if you don't have one, there's a risk that teeth can tip in and you can have a health problem. And then, of course, all the common implant questions. And within 90 seconds to 1.5 minutes here, very quickly, using video and using text right on the mobile phone of your patient, you can educate them and give them the reason why they need to accept that dental implant treatment plan. And so if you've noticed too, we put links, people can watch these, they can take it home with their spouse. What's great, I had a hygienist come up to me, Stuart, and say, hey, Brian, you solved me something. I'm like, I solved a problem for you. What was that? She said, hallway amnesia. I was like, is that something that I just had, or no. My patients will come in, I'll tell them about why they need an implant, and I'll give them papers, and I'll give them diagrams, and a lot of times they'll walk out in the hallway, throw my papers away, forget, go home, have to call me back, and they'll ask me the same question over and over again. Now with the video text product, I'm able to take this and show them and have them pull it up on their phone with a simple text, and with one tap, access the information they need, and they're not going to throw away their smartphone. And in fact, if they lose it, it could be a crisis.
Yeah. Well, it's even cool too. Reporting to a loved one at home, or something like that. If I had to go home and explain a
put in links
to a spouse or something.
What's that?
I was saying that it's even great if the patient had to go home and explain a dental implant to a spouse, oh, Dr. Hornbrook told me I have to get an implant. Well, what's an implant? We can watch these videos together. I mean, it's a great way even to go home and learn about these patient education.
Absolutely. And I'll give you one more use case. Spouses love it, especially when they may spend $3,000 to $5,000 or even more dollars on a procedure, and they don't want to read a pamphlet, but they want to very quickly understand why and the risks if they don't have it, their spouse does not get the procedure done. But we had another use case with Dr. Ballou's office in Boise, where he had a patient whose English was not his first language, and he had to get a root canal and did not quite understand the doctor. The doctor was repeating the reasons why many, many times. Well, even though the videos on root canals were in English, he could see the animations, and very quickly the doctor had him watch those videos, and he watched the animations, and he understood why he needed to get that root canal very quickly, even though English wasn't the first language, and he accepted the case right there on the spot. And so it's just another way to help share and transfer that knowledge and build that trust, even when they don't speak English sometimes. Now, on that topic, there are plans to add Spanish very quickly to our library, and that'll be coming out in the next year. Now, one more way in which we've used this content was really pioneered by Dr. McCray here in Boise. He said, Brian, I love the content, but I want to deliver it to my patients before they even get, walk in the door, so we can start that conversation. Is there a way to do that? I said, well, let's think about it. And we came up with this. If you want to try this one more time, I want to give everybody an opportunity. Simply open up a new text again. And in the to line, it'll be to that 33733 number. They can put the words McCray M. And if Dr. McCray is watching, he's a pioneer of this technique. We really appreciate him. And if you send that McCray M text, again, it says menu. Here is the full menu to all of McCray's dental procedure videos. And it's really important because if you hit that link, you come up with this, a video procedure library. And right away, you're able to scroll and pick what procedure you're coming in for. And when they do that, they're able to engage with content before they even come in. And so we took that link, and within Dr. McCray's appointment reminder system, we implemented it, embedded it just like this. So, Julie, we look forward to seeing your appointment. Please confirm yes. They do that. And right underneath that, we put the copy. Dr. McCray requests you watch the short videos about your upcoming procedure. That's and awesome. That link, that link is the same link we just pulled up with the menu, and that patient, before they even come in, is able to select which procedure they're coming in for, and they might even be coming in for a teeth cleaning, and they might be diagnosed with needing an implant or a crown or a root canal, and they're able to produce, summon and have that on their phone right there before they even get started. So in a nutshell, in summary, when we started this with our leading dentists, they said, hey, Brian, we want to be innovative. We want to separate ourselves from the other dentists down the block, or sometimes right on the corner. Sometimes they share buildings with. We want to look different and be innovative. What are the trends that we can capitalize on to engage our patients in a brand new way? And that, of course, is the mobile, is the video, summoned at what we call the height of interest, time of need, when they most need it, right there on their mobile phone. So we give a great value to innovative dentists who want to look different and capitalize on these mass consumer shifts. Number two, they said, Brian, we want another way to help move the needle, help patients accept the cases. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about it. And that's where we built on the lessons learned from Netflix and the attention and how to grab that attention of our patients so they don't forget. Again, like Stuart mentioned, you can take these videos home with them to their spouse even. It's really the first time where, patients are able to, take the dentist and they take a video and you can see it's wrapped in their brand, put it in their pocket and take it home with them. Yeah. And again, some of the links on the bottom of those videos are a one tap to Google reviews. And we have another tool I'll talk about in a minute about Google reviews, but they wanted to have easy access to help their patients leave Google reviews. And, you know, I can just show you real quickly. We even created these signs, which I'll talk about in a minute, but we've put these in every operatory of some of our customers, and they're able to even just scan that QR code. And on that QR code, what happens, a link will pop up, and it'll take them right to the 5-star review page. So we love automated systems, but our customers kept asking, how do we make the ask in the operatory when they're most emotionally engaged, when we reveal the new smile, when the temporaries are in, or we're doing the veneers and they're just delighted. That we call it the height of delight. And so just a quick offshoot story, Stuart. Dr. King in Atlanta said, hey, we want to improve this procedure. How do we capture these Google reviews and get great reviews when our patients are very happy? And so we put these signs in every operatory at Dr. King's practice, and Dr. Cooper down in Atlanta in the month of, I think it was April. And they set a goal, said, let's go capture as many as we can in 30 days. And the goal simply was this: when the patients are at the height of delight, when they're most happy, have them scan that QR code with their iPhone or send a text and leave a review right in the office when they're at the height of delight. Well, they set the incentive and set a goal with their staff. And any guesses, Stuart, of how many they acquired in 30 days?
50.
You're absolutely low on that estimate. No, they actually obtained over 100 reviews in 30 days. It's like, boy, is this going to be too much? Is Google going to get cranky? But it was wildly successful and it wasn't just the technology. It was the fact that we had the signs in the operatory to help and to be an aid and a reminder to the staff to make the ask. So very, very fun to work with Dr. King and Dr. Cooper on that initiative. Now you might be asking, well, how, we've covered a lot of ground and I want to help avoid these mistakes. What can I do to learn more? Now, an easy way to learn more is to use our own technology. And on the slide, if you simply text to 33733 again, that same number with the text SMILE BR, that will help you opt in. It'll ask for your name and ask for, give us permission, yes, to send you some more information. And if you opt in, we're going to send you a short video over the next few days that will unpack even more of the value of video text and how we help you solve those questions and those problems that we brought up today. It helps you engage with mobile, engaging patients with text, and really looking at that solution and education and the power of video right there on your patient's phone. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how much does this cost? We have a standard offer of $247 a month. We have a $495 setup fee, no contract, of course, with a 60-day money-back guarantee. But for Crown members, we have a promotion going on. If you're seeing this over the podcast, we have a couple of promotions. One is a 10% off all charges. They simply need to use the promotion INSTA, INSTA. We can probably put it in the show notes, I think, Stuart.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one. But we also have another purchase option where you get 20% off if you pay annually. We'll knock off that $500 or the $495 setup fee, and you can pay that one time annually. And so there's a couple ways to capture some savings, especially for Crown members. Now, what do you get? Excuse me, what do you get for that? Now, we only covered a couple procedures, but actually in all, you get a few things. Number one, you'll see that icon up there. You get 200 full color video text guides. And I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a minute. There we go. And I want to show you procedures that we have videos for are in there. Dental fillings, teeth cleanings, extractions, root canals, teeth grinding, dental implants, veneers, crowns, dentures, and whitenings. Now we've pre-made these by dentists for dentists, but we wrap each one of these in a customized brand. So you can see here, Dr. Hornbrooks But Dr. Chris Hammond, another Crown member that's using this, you can see that we wrap all one of these in his brand. So every procedure landing page, you get 10 of these, holds 3 videos per procedure, and they're all wrapped in their brand. And you don't see video text or dental innovations anywhere. You just see the dentist branding. And then we set up the short codes for each one of these. So like for implants, you can see here, it's Hammond DI, veneers, Hammond DV. We set up all the short code technology that would help the patient summon the procedure videos they need right at the height of interest time of need, when at diagnosis or in their waiting room or at case treatment offering when they're educating patients. And you get 200 of these. We customize them. We build them in your colors, your brand. We ship them to the office. I'm all for a low price. And so that's also included in the offering. And we are offering also a special for Crown members on these signs for Google reviews. We talked about how we helped Dr. King obtain and help them make the ask for Google reviews. We're offering these to anybody that signs up to the podcast. We're offering these for free today, also a promo. And we'll help you make the ask. Right. So Stuart, in a nutshell, it's been a pleasure. That is some of the mistakes we see and some of the ways we help solve these problems. Would love to answer any more questions you may have, but it's been a pleasure to highlight these today and a real honor to serve and highlight some of how we're solving these problems and providing solutions to a lot of the dentists across the nation.
Brian, no questions for me other than just how to connect with you. I've got the code to text to you. Is there email or a phone or maybe if somebody's got more questions or whatever, is there a good way to connect with you that I can leave with the podcast?
Absolutely. We'll put those that information, my cell phone number, my email on the bottom of the show notes. You can connect there. Also those promo codes. And yeah, we're available and happy to talk through any of those solutions and look forward to it.
Thank you, Brian. I know that, over the last year that we've worked together, it's been very educational for me to recognize how Crown Counsel communicates with Crown Counsel clients and members, but also how this industry is changing. I mean, it is changing the way that we are communicating with patients and reminding patients and selling to patients. It is from my perspective, this is a direction that we all need to be on when it comes to communicating with the patient. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you, Stuart. We appreciate you and all the ways you're providing value to your customers. And if we look forward to providing more of those solutions and looking forward.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.